Hey guys, what's happening? So you're thinking of buying a motorcycle, are you? And you narrow it down between the CBR 500 and the Ninja 300. Both fantastic beginner bikes. I've heard great things about both of them. The value's there. The fun factor's still there. They're not overpowering bikes, so they're suitable for beginners. At the same time, they're not so underpowered that you're going to quickly outgrow it, depending on taste. So what do I think? I think you should scrap that idea and get yourself a dual sport. I'm riding a KLR 650. This is my second dual sport. Complete disclosure, I've only ever driven dual sports, but let me tell you why. In terms of power, this is a 650cc motorcycle. This is what it does. So, fast enough to get the front wheel up, sure. But that was pretty much as fast as the bike can go. What I was trying to prove there is that this bike, even at 650cc, still has a pretty forgiving power band. You're not going to accidentally wheelie on a KLR. Do I suggest starting on a KLR 650? No. You can, there's nothing wrong with it. But this isn't a promotional video. There are several bikes out there in the 250cc range that I'd highly recommend. One of them being the WR250. That bike has plenty of power. It's tough as nails, it's dependable. You can ride it on-road and off-road. Now, you talk about a forgiving motorcycle. In terms of a sport bike, those are forgiving motorcycles, but not this forgiving. You try that on your Ninja and you'll destroy the bike. Now let me tell you a little story. I started off on a Kawasaki KLX 250, and being a beginner rider, I wasn't the greatest. I'm still not the greatest. But I was cruising along one day on the road, you see right next to me here, and I hit a bump so hard that I thought I might have damaged something. So, making a mistake, I moved my head down like this to check the bike out. Well, I was riding at approximately 60 kilometers an hour. When I looked up, I was headed off the road, off of this. Now let me tell you about forgiving. I essentially Jackie Chan'd off the road, landed on the side, kept going, weaved through a couple of trees, and popped back onto the road. And I pooped my pants. It was a pretty scary moment and it taught me a lesson, but it also made me appreciate a dual sport, because had that been a sport bike, I was dead. Okay, not dead. Hopefully not dead. But definitely injured, and I wouldn't have been able to drive my bike away from that. The dual purpose bike lets you also use it for off-road recreation. I think that is fantastic. You're going to get a lot more use out of your bike as well. Another factor to consider with a dual purpose is that as a new rider, your goal should be to gain experience. And riding off-road, you'll gain experience fast. You'll learn lessons fast. You'll be able to push your bike to its limits off-road, and I'm not just talking about speed, because Because the fact is, you're going to be riding in a lot different conditions than you would be on the road. And that's going to translate over to your on-road riding as well. Now guys, like I said, it's not a promotional video here. I just truly believe that dual sports are the way to go. Now I love motorcycles, and I wouldn't criticize anybody for riding a sports bike or a cruiser or whatever they choose. To me, at least you're on two wheels. But I think best value for your money is always going to be a dual sport. So if you're not worried about the cool factor of the Ninja or the badass factor of the cruiser, what I'm asking you guys is to at least consider dual sport. A good dual sport in the 250cc range costs you around $5,000. Some options there would be the Honda WR250R, the Yamaha XT250, the Kawasaki KLX250, which I've owned and loved. These bikes would let you explore and go almost anywhere, on-road and off-road. If you ride a lot of freeway, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're riding a motorcycle and you have the option to take anything other than a freeway, I say do it. People are in too much of a hurry these days. Buy a bike like that and cruise the twisties and hit some trails. Take your time. And that's what motorcycling is all about. If you're looking for something a little bit quicker, you might look at the DRZ 400. And that bike can handle the highway a little bit better than the 250. And it's also pretty agile and still pretty lightweight in terms of mid-size dual sport. You still be able to handle the off-road pretty well. And guys, I don't claim to be an expert on these bikes. Like I said, I'm still new to this. But the intent of this video is just to kind of get you to explore out of the sport bike category, out of the cruiser category. Have a look at these bikes. If you want to check out the DRZ 400, you might want to have a look at Everride. Now, don't expect that performance out of the box. Mr. Duh Factor and Mr. Roweneck put some serious work into that bike. If you want to check out some WR250, you might want to check out Ride Victoria's channel. And for a little bit more KLR 650, you guys feel free to browse through my videos. And let me tell you guys, if you do choose dual sport, I don't think there's a stronger community of motorcyclists out there than the dual sport crowd. Check out some of the forums out there and you'll see what I mean. The support is there. You know what? You meet up with a dual sport on the road, a complete stranger, I bet you'll strike up a conversation. You guys meet out on the trails, you got a riding partner instantly. Alright guys, well, I feel I've done my duty. You guys have a look. And regardless of what you choose, guys, ride safe. I'll see you out there. Yeah, but there's no signal. My little packable collapsible rod. At least by the end of this ride, we'll know how low this four-wheeler can go before it's actually out of gas.